hot cuppa and relax. It's Afternoon Karak with Aisha Al-Mazmi and Mikhail Atiyah
on Pulse 95.
Are we awake and refreshed after this extended holiday, or are we feeling nostalgic? Do we want a longer weekend very soon?
You know, I feel like you just answered your own question here. Who wouldn't want an extra day for the weekend?
So what we're saying right now is that my question was kind of probably rhetorical.
It's a loaded question. Let's put it that way.
I get it. I understand. You know what? I take full responsibility for that question, and you're absolutely right. I feel like it felt so natural that we had a 3-day weekend that remembering that next week is not going to be the same, and neither would the week after. It just stings a little bit too much.
Thank you for rubbing salt in that wound. And it certainly doesn't help today's celebration. It's only going to add into our need to relax.
I think that it's a good celebration, to say the least. I think that especially coming back from this extended weekend, we need this celebration. It's a good refresher, to say the least.
Drowsy Sundays, start rubbing those eyes, wake up and tune in for the magic hour that is the Afternoon Karak. We got some really, really cool news. There's a surprise rumor going around, and it's somewhere between being confirmed and even more official than usual. Rockstar working on a remastered trilogy for Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Yes, and that is not the only rumor we have today. We've got two rumors. The other rumor just happens to be about that kind of long-awaited CW Powerpuff Girls live action, and the fact that we might not have a Blossom, actually. And now that is a rumor. We're not too sure if it's real or not, but we're going to get into the details later on. We're also going to be talking about Ryan Reynolds and Free Guy, because apparently Disney's asking for a sequel.
Oh, well, I haven't watched the movie yet. I'm going to be watching it today, and I want to see if it does deserve that sequel. Also, we're going to be talking a little bit about Dave Bautista. He comments a little bit more about why he probably didn't get involved with other big Marvel projects. And it seems like it's going to be official. Disney Plus
might be coming to the Middle East and Africa very, very soon. This is only some of the same things we talk about. I know I say this all the time, but if you guys have been tuning into the Afternoon Karak for the past couple of months and years, you know how this goes. All fun and games right here on the Magic Hour with Aisha and Mikhail, only here on Pulse 95.
What's the date?
What's the date?
What's the date?
What are we celebrating today?
Mikhail says that perhaps this celebration is a little bit salt in the wound, even though I think it's the other way around.
Okay, go ahead. Convince me.
Today is Relaxation Day, and Mikhail, according to Mikhail, because it's Relaxation Day and we just came out of that lovely time of relaxation, that the fact that today just happens to be Relaxation Day just hurts a little bit, because we're actually back to reality, back to work. But I think it's the opposite, because this day is a reminder for you to take a break regardless of the amount of work you have.
You know, as much as I'd love to celebrate this, this amazing occasion, I love nothing but to unwind and relax. But when you got a new week coming in, it's so hard to just sort of take the coat off. You know what I mean? Because for me, I always think of the weekdays as like you got to do them, like you got to run out, do your errands, you got your job, you got all these things that you value so much. So I want to celebrate it, but a part of me is like, well, I don't. Maybe I got something else kind of cooking that I got to work on.
See, this is why this day is super important, because this
can it be a relaxation week thing?
It could be a week. I mean, but the thing is, it's a reminder that you should be relaxing. You should be having that 1 hour, 2 hour per day where you're just unwinding. Otherwise, well, for one, you're going to have a lot of tension in those shoulders, to say the least. Plus, it can cause a lot of mental and physical health problems, health issues. That is so a lot of people forget about, especially when we're in the early 20s. Around mid-20s is when it starts hitting all this neglect that we kind of get used to, working, trying to get on top of things. And then you kind of carry it over into your mid-20s, and then around your late 20s, early 30s, you're like, oops, I kind of destroyed myself by mistake without realizing, and that carries over later on as you grow older. And a lot of times you would want to rest as you get older. You're trying to be wiser and stronger. You're not trying to lose all your youth and your power and your strength really early on in your life. That's not fair on you.
We shouldn't be workaholics by our 30s. You know?
See, that's the thing. A lot of people feel that they find validation through their work, and that is fine, but they should know when to stop. They have to learn their limits. And I'm hearing this a lot from a lot of my friends in different fields, and they talk about their bosses, their managers, their colleagues. A lot of them text them throughout the weekend, and my friends get annoyed, especially the fact that, especially since the whole work from home thing started, some people started not learning their boundaries at all. I mean, their personal boundaries and other people's boundaries, where they would text you at any time simply because you're working from home. It means you're more chill. No, I mean, work time should be work time, and then relaxation time is also an important part of your day.
You know, one thing I actually do, and I try the best I can whenever I go on a social gathering or I'm chilling with friends, I do everything in my power not to talk about work, not to ask my friends about work, because this is not the time for it, in my opinion.
I agree with you. I mean, it depends. Sometimes you might want to, unload. You might be upset or frustrated. Same goes with your friends. But beyond that, if you feel like this is a no work zone, then by all means, that makes sense and that is great for you. Again, it's all about prioritizing your relaxation, because people forget about it. They think that, we have time, but you don't have time. You need to make the time. You need to force yourself to take the time to relax and chill out.
Exactly. Work hard, play harder.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So some ways you can do that is that every day, perhaps take the time, an hour or two, to perhaps, I don't know, watch your favorite show, order some takeout, or if you're the type of person who enjoys making food, maybe make sure that every day you have that time, maybe for dinner. Make sure that dinner is always cooked at home. Again, if that's the kind of thing you like, maybe you find, some sort of peace and comfort during cooking. Who knows? I mean, just
dip your toes in cold ice.
Oh yeah, cold ice, or go get a mani-pedi, go get that massage. Do not, take care of yourself. Don't forget about yourself. Do not neglect yourself. Get your hair done. Call up your friend. I mean, if you're the type who does not get very drained from talking to people, call up your friends, your family. Just talk for the next 2 or 3 hours. What's the issue? Why do people think that we should be talking for 5 minutes and shutting the phone? Go ahead, babble on with them. Play video games if you have any racking up. I'm Mikhail and and maybe watch those movies. That's for me mostly. I need to remember to go and watch John.
I'm guilty as well.
Exactly.
Just for today.
Exactly. So guys, today I suggest, and Mikhail suggests as well, that you take the time to take care of yourself. Go the extra mile. Get used to it. Add it into your routine, as in force it into your schedule. Do not be like, I have to do this, then I get home and then I need to do some more chores and I go to sleep and then wake up, rinse and repeat. No, take the time to take care of yourself, love yourself, and be good and gentle with yourself.
And if you don't, I'm gonna grab a pillow and just knock you out straight.
I mean, that might be a crime.
No, that's like
a fine line.
It's a relaxed knockout.
A relaxed
and they just
knockout.
go to the bed and it's like they're at peace, serene.
Is that your superpower? The relaxed
I'd like to do that, yeah. And I would sometimes even hit myself. It's like
so RKO, relaxation KO.
Oh, that would be great.
That would
Fictional
be great.
superpowers.
But unfortunately, we do not have these. The only power we have is literally the power we have over ourselves. So make sure you take the time to relax and take care of yourself. Coming up next, we're going to be talking about Ryan Reynolds and the fact that Disney says, or at least Disney greenlit, a sequel for Free Guy, which is interesting because I have watched the movie and I'm on the fence about whether it can be some sort of IP or universe. Coming up next, right here on the Afternoon Karak.
Pulse 95.
Speculation, gossip, or hoax. Rumor has it.
We've been talking about a lot of rumors concerning GTA 6, but apparently this rumor is kind of different. They are talking about some GTA remasters, and even some other Rockstar game remasters, including Red Dead Redemption.
This is really big news, and it's almost coming to a point where maybe this is official. There's still no comment from Rockstar themselves, but a lot of big media sources out there, such as Kotaku and Verge and IGN, they're desperately trying to get any hint of a confirmation. But this remastered trilogy for the Grand Theft Auto will, from what the rumors are saying, it's going to be 3 games in one. It's going to be the GTA 3, San Andreas, and Vice City. And apparently all 3 games are going to be remastered using the Unreal Engine, and will have a mix of the new and old graphics. One person who claims to be an insider has compared the remastered footage that he has so-called seen to something that is like a modded version of some of the classic GTA titles.
And according to this rumor, these games are slated to be released sometime this fall, so between September, October, November, and apparently they may also be making an appearance on the Nintendo Switch.
I'd love that, man. Oh my god. I really would love to revisit Vice City. That game, when I was maybe I know I shouldn't be playing it when I was 12 years old.
Anybody who was playing it back then was not supposed to play it. I know that,
but
definitely.
I'll say this, some of the music that you listen to from Vice City is like the 70s, 80s music. To this day, I listen to it because I had those rides in the game, and it was so memorable. Just the whole pink vibe of those times. I really would like to revisit it in a modern new version of this game.
See, what I remember from that is that my cousins had that game, and I remember all of us were really bad at English, or at least moderate in English, and I remember them calling it Vice City. Vice City. And I'd be like, Vice City, Vice City. I'm like, what on earth is Vice City? What is going on? And all I knew back then was that when I used to watch them play, is that you can beat up people and steal their cars. And I was like, oh, that's a cool game, you know? I'm not gonna lie, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But that game is part of a lot of people's childhoods, and it's gonna be quite successful. Now, is it a way for them to kind of give the fans something to hold on to?
Like a buffer.
Exactly, until GTA 6 comes out. It probably is. Is that a bad or good thing? Up to you guys.
Hey, 3 games in one.
Why not? I mean, it depends on the price as well. How much are they going to be selling it for? Are they going to be selling it for a very high premium price? Or is it going to be sort of a bargain, 3 games in one? Or what's going to happen with that?
Will there be an online mode for each game?
That's another thing.
Oh my God.
Is there going to be, can you play, because they're cross-play. I mean, if there's an online mode, it's going to be appearing on the Nintendo Switch. What is happening? We just need to wait and see as usual. We're going to be taking a short break. We've got these sports headlines, more rumors, Marvel stories, and Disney Plus might be coming to the Middle East and Africa very, very soon. Coming up next, right here on the Afternoon Karak.
This is Pulse 95.
With Disney Plus subscription roster, I would say reaching over 116 million subscribers now. The Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is going global very soon, and I feel like it's a bit of sort of like an intimidation move, because Netflix and Amazon Prime are going to start sweating bullets when they start rolling out to Eastern Europe as well as the Middle East and Africa.
Yeah, so apparently Disney Plus was initially gonna launch in Eastern Europe around late 2021, as in summer 2021, but it's actually been pushed to 2022. And the CEO of Disney, Bob Chapek, says, when he mentions the reason why Eastern Europe did not get Disney Plus yet, he says that we've pushed it to 2022 instead, and that it coincides with the rollout in parts of the Middle East and Africa. Now he says parts of the Middle East and Africa, which begs the question, which parts is he referring to? Because right now, across the Middle East and Africa, we've got OSN. But even then, did you know that? Now, I got this from our lovely, one of our favorite listeners, Hindi Marvel Overseer. She told me actually last week. She's like, did you know that What If, Marvel's What If, is not available on OSN. And I was like, that is really strange, because OSN streaming kind of has some sort of deal with Disney that we were getting a lot of those big Disney Plus shows right after they got released in the United States by a couple of hours. So, just to have time to translate and to add subtitles most likely. So it was very interesting to know that they were not releasing What If. So this means that what OSN and Disney have is not full. I mean, we already know that it's not a full proper agreement, because if you ever go through OSN streaming's platform, if you go through the Disney tab, not all the TV shows on Disney Plus and movies are available on OSN streaming, which means that despite what a lot of us probably believe that Disney Plus is going to release through OSN, it's most likely that their agreement is probably going to end very soon. Their partnership is going to end, and then officially Disney Plus is going to be releasing across, again, parts of the Middle East and Africa.
I can already imagine Aisha, when the term parts of the Middle East, I feel like she's going to be grabbing a bat. She's like, what part of the Middle East?
Exactly.
I hope you're talking about the UAE.
I hope you're talking about our part of the Middle East. Maybe he's referring to maybe parts of Africa rather than parts of the Middle East, because it's usually when something is released in the Middle East, it's usually released in all of the Middle East at the same time. And whether you're talking about the GCC countries or a little bit northern up around, Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, Iraq, and that area, and you'd be like, we always get the same thing at the same time. So what do you mean by parts of the Middle East? Maybe it's a slip of the tongue. Maybe, again, he means parts of Africa, which I would understand, because Africa is a bigger continent. It might really require a longer time for a rollout. But if you're talking about the Middle East, which parts of the Middle East? And are you sure it's going to be parts of the Middle East? That's another question.
Let's hope that we do get Disney Plus Middle East here in the UAE. I get the feeling, I have a confident feeling it's going to come out here, so no worries for that.
Inshallah.
This is going to be rolling out by next year, 2022, so stay tuned for that.
We're not sure when in 2022. It could be early 2022, a little bit later, perhaps around the summer. That makes a lot more sense. And it also probably kind of coincides with that rumor we spoke about a while back about how HBO Max is probably going to also roll out in the Middle East and Africa very, very soon as well. Perhaps at the end of 2021. Again, that was a rumor, but that was, we're holding on to that rumor.
The rise of the streaming empires.
Exactly. And it makes sense because Warner Brothers does have several entities right here in the UAE. So it makes sense they're kind of moving along. If they come out before Disney Plus, it makes sense. And that is when Amazon Prime and Amazon needs to move on, because Amazon, even though it's kind of has been released in the Middle East, we don't have all of the IPs and those movies and TV shows that the US and perhaps Europe get. Instead, we've got a couple of things here and there. Perhaps they need to expand and work on their streaming service, but then it's going to go head-to-head officially with Netflix and with Disney Plus, and boy, is it going to be fun to see the streaming wars officially go off in the entire world. We're going to be taking a short break. Coming up next, we're going to be talking about the whole fiasco and the questions about Dave Bautista when he claimed that he was never asked to reprise his role as Drax the Destroyer in Marvel's What If. But apparently, they say that they kind of reached out to everyone. So what is going on over there? Coming up next, right here on the Afternoon Karak.
This is Pulse 95.
It's almost 5 p.m.
That was Afternoon Karak. For dessert,
Aisha and Mikhail suggest...
Fantastic hour here on the Afternoon Karak, and if you missed out on any of our discussions, don't worry, we have all of our shows uploaded episodically onto our YouTube channel. If you love what we do here, support us by subscribing to Pulse 95 Radio. We got all of our videos up there as well as all of our shows on that channel. If you love podcast alternatives, we're also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, as well as on Anghami. Just type in Afternoon Karak and enjoy. So let's wrap up the hour like we always do with a suggestion, this time from Aisha herself.
This is a new type of PSA. I think I've spoken about it a very long time ago, and I was reminded by it by a friend recently, and that is organ donation here in the UAE. In case you guys have not heard, we do have an application called Hayat, Hayat. You can download it and sign up for it, and through that, you can donate your organs when you pass away. In a way, continuing your life and giving somebody else a second chance at their own life. Of course, this is an important and a great and noble cause. So go ahead and check out the application Hayat, Hayat, and through that application, you can find a lot of news about organ donation, and it's basically a cloud-based application. So this means that a lot of entities within the Ministry of Health and Prevention can actually will know about your information and know about your wishes should something happen to you if you are an organ donor. Again, it is very important. It is a noble cause. It is a great way of giving somebody a second chance at life, and you will actually live through them, inshallah, as they continue their life. So once again, organ donation, if you're interested or should be interested, check out Hayat, Hayat. It is a UAE official government introduced and government created application for organ donation. And with that, we wrap up our hour here on the Afternoon Karak and make way for none other than the great dynamic duo of Yalla Home, Big House and Anna Schofield, right here on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of Afternoon Karak, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.